What's up, people? This is JJ. I'm an Xbox gamer, and I've recently just started playing PC games.
Hey everyone, my name is OJ. I like all types of gaming. I mainly focus on the Switch.
Hi everyone, my name's Ronald. I mainly play Xbox and PC, but I've moved over to Xbox more recently.
Yo everyone, I'm Ray. At the moment I'm mainly PS4, but I play anything, I'll be honest with you.
Alright guys, so in this week's news or in this week's topics, what we have is Marvel's Avengers, The Last of Us Part 2, Cyberpunk, and I had a question actually which I wanted to ask your opinions on. What would make you buy GTA 5 again? But that's going to be something for later on, so let's get cracking. Marvel's Avengers. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I mean, I'm curious of how they're gonna portray that game. Is it gonna be one of those games that I like that's similar to the film? Are they gonna go? Are they gonna take it down the Spider-Man route? You know, like the very first Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 games they did. They based it off the movie, and then they just did spin-off games. My worry with this game is that it's gonna be a bit of a cluster. It looks a bit like it looks a bit like one of those games like Lego Batman, where everyone's just running around going a bit crazy. There's not really much point to it. There's not really much story to it. How they gonna incorporate all the specialities of each of the characters? How's the gameplay gonna be? Because from watching it, it looked a bit like Cluster. It didn't look quite straightforward. I I was thinking, are they gonna make it like a fight 'em up game, like Injustice? Are they gonna make it like that, or Marvel vs. Capcom?
No, it's supposed to be like a games as a service. So if you know a game like if you use a game like Division as an example, where you build your character up and you level up and you play in a squad, so you can go into squads of four. I don't know what the maximum will be, but it's gonna be something like that. So it's a game that's always gonna continue growing. So it'll probably have a story mode that you can play through as a squad with four people, but it will also have like an online mode as well, basically.
I don't think they can follow the
I
movies
don't
as
know if
well.
any of you guys have played Division before.
I haven't, I haven't.
Yeah,
I
I
played
Wait,
a
what's
little
that?
bit.
The Division, Ubisoft game.
No.
Yeah, I
I've
played
seen.
only a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the Division. I didn't play number two, but I used to play Division. This is when I first got my Xbox and it first came out. I used to play that in a squad. So, like I said, if you know anything about the Division, you can play in squads of four online,
Mm.
and there's a story mode you can play through. But then there's also like an online mode. They call it the Dark Zone. So you go in there and it's like PvP basically.
Okay, right. Okay.
Okay.
I've never played
Uh,
it, but I've seen loads
uh,
of gameplay of it.
Yeah, so apparently Avengers is supposed to be similar to that. So we'll have a story mode and we'll also have like a PvP mode.
No,
Okay.
to be honest, I don't see myself playing that game unless you guys come to me and tell me, yo, it's really good, or I see some good reviews, or people start raving about it. But personally, it's not something that's really attracted me.
What, Marvel or Division?
Avengers,
What
sorry,
more?
Avengers.
Avengers, yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to see more about it as they
yeah,
go more.
yeah, true. I think I
Yeah.
need to see a bit more as well, but so far
Story,
it hasn't drawn me in.
yeah, I think
I
if the
mean,
squad interests me and it's something that I could get into a squad and play, then I'll definitely play
Mm.
it.
And you know what? Saying that, I probably just messed myself up saying this now, but if it's cross platform and all of us can get it,
Yeah,
Why not?
then
Yeah.
why not? I just thought about that because Sony's loosening their reins on this. Oh, we don't want to do cross platform now. They're more than willing now because the big companies are saying it's a flick of a switch to make the games cross platform. Obviously, it's not a physical switch, but like a line in the code or however many lines in code to make it cross platform. So they might as well. Because to be honest, if I don't have to buy a PS4 or a PS5, but I can play more or less the same games with you guys, other than their exclusives, then that's a win-win. That's
is
a
yeah,
that win-win
win-win.
for Sony though? That's the thing.
It would be because they're not making that much money off selling the actual PlayStation. They, let's just say argument's sake, they make $50 off selling a PS, right? But if they release a PlayStation-ish game and I can buy it just so I can play with you guys or play with my other friends, then I would do that, and that's £50 every single time, rather than that just £150 one time for the PlayStation. So I think it would benefit them. They might not sell as many consoles, but they're making money on the software side still. So
But it will be alright as long as they keep doing their exclusive now. That was consoles for them. As long as they keep doing that, they'll be fine.
yeah, I think so as well. I think so
I
as well.
agree with that as well. But when it comes to the Avengers game, because I watched a little bit of that, like they had like this event where they showed like the story, the gameplay, etc., and some new trailers that they released. And from what I saw, I'm actually liking it.
Okay.
I wasn't really on board with it at the beginning. When they released the trailer, I think it was E3 last year. I wasn't really feeling that. I thought, okay, Avengers, what is it gonna be? The same stuff that JJ was saying. I thought that we are unsure on what it could potentially be, but the story itself, I feel like it's a little. They're adding a lot of lore from the comic books, which I like.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
It's going to be more deep, gritty into the comics. And I think a lot of people who did grow up on the comics and maybe the animated series that were linked to the comics, they're going to enjoy it more than people who are the ones that love the cinematic universe over the comics.
Fair enough.
They got a lot. They got a lot of material to work with as well.
Yeah, those comics span decades, don't they? I actually like the comic stuff more than the movie stuff. Don't get me wrong, the movies were really, really good, but the comic stuff it goes a lot more in depth.
I think one thing I've noticed as well, like, have you noticed they've turned the movies? I don't know if this is just for a selling point, but do you realize in a lot of superhero movies they're very comical, and they try to make them more play to relatable, so that they're trying to make the characters more human than superheroes. If you actually watch them, like when you're watching like Thor in the comic books, he's not a comedian.
No,
and neither is Superman.
No.
But then in the movies, they make him more comical. You reckon that's a selling point, or do you reckon that's something that
it's just
they just do
relatable, like you said, I guess.
Yeah.
Give it another dimension. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for people who don't actually are into superheroes, but they're forced to kind of watch it. At least they get a laugh out of it, and they can actually enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I kind of think they have to do that because, for example, let's just go back to Thor. Thor in the comics, well, Thor is a god. He's a literal god. And in the comics, at some point, he gets his father's power. So he gets the Odin Force, which they rename it the Thor Force. So he can essentially destroy anything and almost anyone in the universe. If they put him on Earth to fight humans, there's no way they can use his full comic book story and origin, because Thor swinging that hammer as hard as he did in the last two Avengers movies would probably destroy the planet in the comics. So I think they do have to make it more relatable, more funny, so that the general population can be like, okay, that was kind of funny, it was interesting. So yeah, I think it is because they have to make it more relatable.
Yeah.
And just going back to the Avengers game as well, we talked about this last week. What do you think of the graphics for the new Marvel Avengers game? Are you hyped up? Do you feel like the graphics look good? Because I'm seeing some comments, people saying it looks like a PS2 game, it looks like a PS3 game. Like the graphics are really, failing this year, especially in this day and age. Or are you guys just more hyped and thinking actually the gameplay looks really well? Because like I said,
quickly, do you know who's developing the game? I can't remember who's developing.
I can check.
I don't want to say it, but I think it might be Square Enix. I could be wrong though.
It might be Square, yeah.
Yeah, Square Enix.
Yeah.
Was it Square?
I say double check to confirm.
Well, Square Enix is the publisher.
Yeah, Square's the publisher, yeah.
Crystal Dynamics, Crystal Northwest, and Eidos Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's
the
it.
developers.
Yeah. So, to your question, yeah, I think it is justifiable when it comes to the graphics. The reason why is because I think they pack in a lot more lore and story into the actual game, so the graphics isn't the main selling point for that game.
Yeah.
I think it's just an Avengers game that's going to be action packed. So I don't think they're going to put more focus on the graphics. But if they do, that'd be great. If there's a patch where they can upgrade the graphics, perfect. But when is the release? I think it's September or something, right?
Yeah. Are you not looking to pick it up on launch, or are you gonna base it off the reviews and feedback first?
4th of September. I think I'll wait a bit because again,
Probably
it's,
won't be get.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm saying I probably won't be getting on launch. I'll probably be waiting just to
Yeah,
see like gameplay and
yeah,
what people
exactly.
say
Yeah,
about it.
same.
Anyone seen gameplay yet? Any like gameplay footage or just a trailer?
Just what they
Yeah,
showed in
no,
the trailer. Yeah.
I think they
they,
released the other day,
yeah,
but
They
they
released
did.
they released a new demo. I think yesterday, no, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one. I didn't see
Yeah,
that
Yeah, it's
one.
on the PlayStation YouTube channel.
Okay.
Just the four gameplay. You see four just, and then you see the cinematics, see the cutscenes, and then you just see literally gameplay. It kind of plays similar to like Batman
Oh, really?
in a
yeah,
way, but obviously with force powers.
Yeah. So you're
Got that
blocking and
cinematic.
you're parrying and you're hitting
Yeah, it's
and
like
oh, okay.
countering and hitting
Yeah.
and jumping and then using. But obviously you got special moves to use
Hmm.
as well.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. No, I did see the full event. And that they were talking about ways on upgrading, as Reno did. Explain, he mentioned that it's kind of like the vision where you personalize each character,
Hmm.
and it does show that the more you improve, you get like these points where you can upgrade and change the way how the character plays. So I think if we were to all get the game and we were playing as Thor, I think each individual Thor that we have will be different.
Different. Yeah.
I
It's
like
slightly
that
different.
originality because it makes it seem as if it's you who's in control.
Yeah. That's quite cool. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to leave this one to Ray and Jordan because
so
I don't have a PlayStation. I have not touched
so
it.
right now, I'm
Are you
literally
playing it now?
literally, and you guys are sending your messages over
Playing it,
text.
I've been doing a conversation.
No, I can't. 'Cause I got a whole game, but just before you guys we got into it, I was literally right in the middle of it. I'm probably about. I don't even feel like I'm halfway through it, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
So it feels like a long game.
that's good.
Um, my
How many
review.
hours have you clocked so far?
I think I'm probably at about 4, 5,
Okay.
maybe 4 or 5. But yeah. So I can only give a review on where we're at so far. Where I'm at
Please.
so far.
Yeah.
Um, it's a good game. Obviously, there was a lot of hype surrounding the first one. I don't know if any of you guys played that. I don't think none of you have you?
I haven't played it. No.
The Last of Us now.
Okay, I know you haven't played it yet, LJ, have you?
Nah, not yet.
That was a good game, and it took me a while to get into that as well. I think I remember telling LJ I attempted to play that game about 3 or 4 times. The first 2 or 3 times, I just couldn't get into it. I found it boring, and when I knew that this one was coming out, I said, all right, let me just actually buckle down and try and get into it. And I got into it. I played all the way through, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was a really good game, like really good story, good gameplay. It's not your typical. It's a survival game, so it's not like your typical game like Uncharted, or I'm trying to think of another example, like where you encounter enemies and you have to clear them all out before you get to move on. There's different ways you can obviously use stealth, hide, and not let them spot you whatsoever, or you can just run away from your counter if you want to, or if you really want to, you can just fight it out. So the second one is basically the same concept. Characters are a lot grown up. I'd say it's a bit more boring though. Not as much action. Not as much. I hope the side quests, the side quests for me are taking too long. Like we'll go back 3 years, and I'll be doing a side quest 3 years from the main story that I've been playing. I'm doing a side quest for like half an hour, 45 minutes. There's no enemy, there's no danger, there's nothing. So I know they're trying to focus on narrative and story and it being cinematic. I think we were saying last week that games are the new films now, aren't it?
That's it.
So they're focused on that. But as a gamer, I want to shoot something. I want to hide from
Just want
some
to kill.
zombies. I mean, so far it's a bit boring. There's little interesting parts about obviously leading on from the first one. I don't know if you guys are ever gonna play the first one.
I'll watch it on YouTube, to be honest. Before I say I'll play it, I'll watch it on YouTube.
I don't exactly. I don't know if you want it spoiled for you, but there's one or two like scenes or things that happen that you wouldn't expect to happen.
Okay, don't spoil
In
it.
this
Don't spoil
one.
it, because LJ
No,
might actually play it.
Yeah. I hope you will.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
I'll try and pick up.
have you seen any of the controversy online surrounding it?
Um,
I have.
I've heard some. I don't remember what I heard actually, but I did
And
hear
that's
that
what I was
some
gonna
people were
ask.
saying it's boring or it's not as good as the first one or it's exactly the same as the first one too much. I think I
It's
Yeah.
did
a,
see some stuff like that.
I wouldn't say it's that much of an upgrade apart from visually.
Mm.
The gameplay is very similar. One thing I will say that they've improved on is the actual melee hand to hand fighting is a lot better.
Oh, okay.
They made it look like really
Okay.
good. Um, but yeah, a lot of it's the same basic systems from the first game. Which if it's not broke, don't fix
Don't
it. You know
fix
what I
it.
mean?
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you don't need to change it, then don't change it.
That's it.
It worked well anyway. But like I said, the controversy online because the game obviously leaked about a month or so
Yeah.
before it came.
That's it.
So a lot of people knew the story before it actually came out.
Yeah.
I'm getting through the story. I'd say a lot of the outrage that, without spoiling anything, a lot of the outrage that people are experiencing, I haven't experienced it,
Mm-hmm.
even though I've seen, like, I understand where they're coming from with certain things that happen, but I just feel like it fits well with the story.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to say things without spoiling it, but
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
say that the people who are enraged, they're crying over spilt milk in that
yeah.
sense?
And the thing is, because the first game was so good, obviously there's
Yeah.
always going to be high expectations for this
Yeah,
one.
of course, naturally.
Especially as
100%.
PS4 now, and the last one was on PS3, even though they remastered it for the PS4. But I do think people do get their hopes up a little bit too much. I think that's with everything in life,
Oh,
especially
yeah,
when it comes to sequels. Especially when it comes
Mm.
to sequels, you know what I mean? A lot of people even said that the first one didn't need a sequel, but I think this one fits really well. But I'm enjoying playing it, even though I'm saying there's one or two bits where I'm a bit bored.
Mm.
But enjoying playing it. A lot of people are saying this is the game of the generation.
There's no way. Not. I
I
mean, I
don't.
haven't seen much of it, but God of War
No,
has it for me. I'm
it's
sorry.
not. It's not better
Yeah, definitely,
than God of
100%.
War.
Yeah.
There's no way it's better than God of War.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say it's the game of the generation, but I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know what
You
twists
don't.
and
Yeah.
turns.
Fair enough.
I don't know what's good. What might wow me.
Yeah. True. True.
Uh,
All right.
but
Well. Mm-hmm.
so far, if I gotta give it a rating, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
7 so far. All right.
Okay.
I have a question for you
Yeah.
actually, based on the game. So, do you think they've added enough features to make it worth buying a second one? Seen as
In
this
terms of
is
in terms of being a sequel,
yeah, in terms of story or like gameplay elements, do you think they've added enough extra stuff for people to think, yeah, it's worth the what £50 upgrade, or buying
yeah,
another one? Yeah.
yeah, definitely would. I definitely would. Like I
Okay.
said, the story. So a lot of people were saying that the first one didn't need a sequel because it ended so brilliantly.
Yeah.
I think they have carried it on. Like obviously, it's set in the future. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world. So
Mm-hmm.
characters, I think it's set 5 years later now. So the characters from the first one have obviously grown. They're showing like different, obviously, elements of human nature. These are all things that people like to see in movies, like games or movies now. And in terms of,
Mm.
like I said, the melee gameplay, like I'm actually, I prefer to fight people hand to hand and actually shoot my gun. I'll be honest, because it looks a lot more slick. It feels better as well. I
Okay.
feel the power. So in terms of that, that's definitely upgraded on that. I haven't finished the story, but so far I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
But I would definitely say it's worth the sequel, worth the money. Yeah, most definitely.
Um.
Alright. I got a question.
Interesting.
So, obviously, this is part two.
Yeah.
Could you say that you don't need to play part one in order to enjoy
Oh,
part two?
Understand.
No chance. You have to play part one.
Okay.
They tie
Is
you
that
in.
based
Eh?
on understanding the story, or is it just because once you play part two, you'll
Based
be a
on
bit confused?
understanding the story and where it's going, because certain things that happen at the end of number one, and not even just the end, all throughout, just like the main character. I don't think that's why I said I don't want to spoil it. But
Okay.
what I will say is the main characters in number one aren't necessarily the main characters in number two.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's big twists and turns, but you have to understand why that is. And the only way to understand that is you don't necessarily have to play through. You can watch the story on YouTube if you want, but you have to understand what happens in number one to understand what's happening in number two, or you won't get it.
Are you gonna send your copy to LJ when you're done with it?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I have to do number one first.
Okay. Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Take some
The
time.
game sharing. You've got number one, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I've got it digitally and we're game sharing, so you can definitely do it.
Okay, fair enough. Um, Based on what I've seen about that game, it looks a lot like Tomb Raider, and I really like Tomb Raider, so I might jump into it at some point.
It's not.
It's not?
No. So
No.
it's a survival game. So in Tomb Raider where you kill the enemies and pick up their ammo,
Yeah.
times where I've got maybe 7, 8 enemies around me and I've got 2 bullets.
Okay. Okay.
So I
So
Fair
it's
enough.
like it's a strategy game basically.
yeah,
Like a stealth game.
I've got to find a way out of that situation. So whether that means I've got to sneak up on everyone, whether that means I'm trapped here and there's an enemy there and there, if that means I've got to throw a glass bottle over there to get them to go over there and I throw a Molotov cocktail on them to burn them all at one
Yeah.
time, like you have to think. So it's not like Tomb Raider where you've got your ammo
Run and gun, yeah. But you know
yeah,
what?
you can,
In the
it's a
harder.
it's literally a survival game.
Yeah.
It's like Walking Dead because there's zombies as well. So
Okay.
you might come out of an encounter where you've just fought human enemies and then you fall underground and you've got to run away from the zombies or kill the zombies. And then
Okay.
you've also got different types of zombies as well. You've got the blind ones, the ones that obviously can't see you, you've got to find a way to kill them, but they got hyper smell and hearing. Like there's loads of different elements. And also there's new zombies in this game than there were in the first one as well. Like there's new evolutions. So
Okay. Fair enough.
it's yeah. The more I'm saying it, the more I'm saying it's definitely worth the upgrade.
All right. I think you've convinced me to watch the first one. Or LJ, if when you're playing you want to record the whole thing, feel free. Record the
Yeah,
whole thing.
I have to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is what I was saying last week about the whole co-op element. The whole part, all I've done with this game so far, I've had like someone with me in terms of like in the game, like an NPC. I just wish with games like this they also added a co-op element where you could have instead of like just being an NPC, someone else could jump in.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
nice. That would be nice.
You know, what I mean? Like, things like that, I just think you just take the game to a whole nother level.
So, do you always have an NPC with you?
At the moment, the part I'm at, no.
Okay.
But that literally only happened, let's say, within the last 10 minutes of gameplay.
Okay. Right. So they've gone off to do their own thing, or they okay? Don't spoil it, but have they gone off to do their own thing, or did something else happen?
Yeah, they're not dead, but they're incapacitated. So
Okay.
I'm on my own.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that would be a nice gameplay feature to add for multiplayer because you two could be playing together then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next one that we have to look at is the elephant in the room, Cyberpunk 2077. Thoughts?
You know what? For someone that's not a first-person shooter, after watching like some gameplay and some reviews on that game, that I like the way that they've incorporated a lot of things in there, the features and the fact that it's futuristic. I'm actually really excited to play it. I mean, I'm really more
Nice.
focused on the story as well.
Okay.
Same. But I prefer third person as well. But that game, I'm looking forward to that game coming. I might not get it, but I'm looking forward to it coming out.
Yeah, I think I watched the review. I watched the reviews, see what people say about it. Yeah, I mean, the thing that has to sell me has to be the story. In order for me to enjoy first person, because I think it's funny because the one thing that got me attached to Call of Duty was, as most people don't even play it, was the campaign mode. I always used to buy Call of Duty to play the campaign, and then I used to sell it straight after. I never used to play online.
Same.
But one thing that always got me with first person shooters was the story. I like to just follow the journey and feel like I'm actually the character as opposed to just randomly shooting. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is definitely a game that's one to look for. Especially because it's going to be kind of like a game that they're launching with as well, in a way.
What the
Like
new
they're
consoles
using that
are
as their launch game.
Yeah.
For the new consoles. That's
Have
a
they
game that they were
decided that?
advertising a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, it's a game that they were advertising a lot for the new consoles.
Okay. So
So, to look out for this.
Yeah, and the delay, they put a delay on it, so
Yeah.
it means it's basically at the same time as the new generation consoles.
It wouldn't make sense for
Yeah.
them to not put it on there.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a launch title.
I think so as well.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. It's giving me Mass Effect vibes. The fact that like you choose your own path, certain decisions and certain scenarios that you take. Um, I've seen the gameplay. I think it's hands down amazing. From what they said in one of the gameplays, they said that every individual has a different story. So all the NPCs that are walking around, they have like a cycle of where they go from day to night.
Mm.
And I think it would be like on maybe a 3 day cycle. So they're in different spaces at any time. And as you've seen the population of the people there, like to code every single
I
person with
know, that's
individual,
crazy.
it's
It's
amazing.
crazy.
And the fact that you can interact with, I don't know, maybe all of them on certain days in that sense. Um, and they come with different dialogue, everything's original. It makes it seem as if it's masking real life.
It's masking real life. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? I'm not really loving the way it's looking. To be fair, I might be the only person that ever says that, but I think this game might look better in third person, or might play better in third person. The first person element of it, I love first person, but the first person element of this game, I don't like what I see so far. But
Mm.
obviously they'll probably add new features that we haven't seen yet and show them later on. But it looks amazing. The driving, the shooting, the hacking. I think it looks a bit too much as well. Because I still
Too
haven't
much
played
what?
just too much of everything. It seems like a really big RPG, and to be honest, I don't have time for a big RPG. That's the problem.
True.
I don't have the
True.
time, right? Because
I get where you're coming
Uh,
from.
I'm still playing Fallout 4 now. I started that
Mm.
a couple months ago. I didn't start playing it when it just came out, and it is a big task. What I don't like, I have side quests, I have main quests, and the quests just keep coming in. I talk to a new person, I walk past a place, and a quest just pops up, and I think that's just too much for me. I like to just have a few items on my list, get them done, and move on. But that just seems going to be like a monumental task. Quest after quest after quest, side quest, like what Ray was saying with The Last of Us. It's just loads of side quests and they take long, and they're not really as fun as you would like them to be. So that's one of my issues. My another issue is that it's not in third person as well. So there should be an option to, I don't know, switch between first and third. I think
Yeah,
that would be quite
I
good.
agree that it would be good if they had the option to switch between, because yeah, most definitely I agree
Yeah,
with that.
yeah. Because
but some
your
games that have the option though, the third person isn't always that good.
But they can fine tune it though. They can say once you're in third person, the I don't know, the aiming either speeds up or slows down based on what you want to do. So you can actually, when you're in first person, you set your speed of everything. When you're in third person, you set the speed of everything, so it can match your play style. But I want it in third person as well, because it's open world, and because it has that GTA 5 vibe where you're driving around, riding around, shooting, and all of that. I want the third person as well.
Yeah.
Because the third person driving looks nice, but yeah, that's just my 2 pence on that so far. Yeah.
Yeah, so CD Projekt Red, obviously, they got a good track record with good games, especially big games, using the three for an example. So all of the, I think they've done all of the Witcher, I believe. So
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
that's a
And
that's something that is obviously a good selling point for the game as well.
yep. And they also awarded Game of the Year. I forgot what year though. I think it might have been
Was it
2015.
for the
For The
Witcher?
Witcher 3, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Witcher 3. Yeah,
One of
that was
those
Game of
years,
the
yeah,
Year.
yeah. It wasn't a,
Um,
yeah,
I think it was 15 or 14 or something like that. But I just remember the reviews for The Witcher 3, and the main review that I remember is that they said they put the gamer first, and
Mm.
those bold words. If they're making Cyberpunk 2077, I have high hopes that this game is going to
yeah,
be.
really
It
good as
could
well, yeah.
potentially be Game of the Year
100%.
for 2021, because I think because it's released in November,
Yeah,
it won't um be
Yeah, it won't be this year.
yeah.
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 Well, it's got stiff competition in Horizon Zero Dawn, New Horizon.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But Horizon Zero Dawn is only PlayStation.
That's true.
So
That's right.
the exclusivity of that is it
But,
might sell
but
more.
that doesn't make any difference, though. You know this.
Oh yeah, overall,
So,
I know.
yeah, when God of War won it,
Yeah,
that was it.
Mm-hmm.
that was hands
I mean,
down. It deserved it fully.
no, I mean, like, it's like, I think that, we'll just see. Horizon, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Horizon. Like,
Yeah, I did.
I think they released an extended one. That game looks crazy.
It looks gorgeous as
Like,
well.
we've gone obviously into another subject now, but
That's fine, man.
look, looking into the world building of that game, because obviously it's set in the future as well, but it's still set in America.
Yeah.
And they were showing like screenshots of like landmarks. I can't remember what city it is in America, of like landmarks in this particular city, next to how they look in the game, and like the world that they brought around it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's
And I'm
why.
super, bro, obviously, as someone that's played Horizon, because Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely one of my favorite games ever.
Really, is that good? All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think we might have to buy a PlayStation, JJ, because all these guys are doing is talking about these amazing games. We're just here. We're just here, sitting here, waiting. Like, yeah, we'll get one soon.
The thing, you're missing out. And the thing is, obviously, you can watch it. You're watching it on YouTube, but it's different when you're playing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Fair. All right, guys. So one more question I have to ask is, Sony pushed GTA 5 as a PlayStation killer app. I think they said it was. What would make you guys buy GTA 5 again? Because I know personally, JJ, you bought it like what 2 or 3 times already. I bought it.
Yeah, I bought it on 360, Xbox One, and then recently on PC.
On PC.
So didn't pay for it though. I got the free app.
Okay, I thought you were admitting to torrenting stuff.
No, I got it. They did the free Epic Games thing.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so
you know you just recorded just so saying torrent.
no, that's not an illegal thing. It's just what you do with it. That's fine. I'll cut this part out anyway. Okay. All right, cool. So, what do you guys think will make you buy GTA 5 again?
Yeah, I don't know, but just like JJ, I think I bought it maybe 4 times. So I bought it on the 360, I bought it on the Xbox One, I bought it on PC. This was like when we was in uni, so 2015, 16. And I recently purchased it for the PlayStation 4.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
You're the
and
reason why it's at the top of the that sales list every month. It's
Yeah,
you guys.
It must be.
When it's not on sale, how much is it selling for now?
20.
When it's not on sale,
Yeah, 20 roughly. Yeah.
If you're on it, if
Still
they're
£25 in game, brand new for the premium.
Yeah.
if they're selling it at a price like 20, 25, like, it's a game that I really want to play and I haven't got it like on the system, a particular system, I'd probably buy it.
But remember, it's a 7-year-old game at this point. 7.
I don't know. I have to know that I've got a certified people who's going to be playing it on a regular basis. But I'm not going to play through the story again.
Nah. Yeah, same.
360 and the Xbox One. So
Yeah, same.
I wouldn't play through the story again. I'll literally only be buying it for online. What's interesting now is this whole smart delivery concept, though, because obviously Microsoft are promising whatever you bought on the Xbox
Exactly.
One,
Yeah.
if they've got, if obviously the launch version is available, or it doesn't even matter launch. If it's also going to be on the Xbox Series X, then you just carries over. You don't
That's
have to
it.
pay for it.
That's nice. Because
Saw how the smart delivery thing works, because they were pushing it like you're gonna have to buy this again.
That's the thing.
Another 20. So you have to buy it another time, LJ.
Nah. The thing is, it's not even gonna be at that price of 25. It's gonna be much more.
It's gonna go back up to like 40, 50. Yeah, easy.
I think it's gonna be normal retail price as a launch.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't. No, definitely wouldn't.
Nah. Yeah.
No chance.
You know what? I thought about it because I was like, When they released it again, I was just like, what? GTA 5 again?
Yeah, I know.
After 7
Yeah.
years? And they want people to buy it again? Like, LJ would have to buy it for 6 times. Right?
Yeah,
But when I sat and thought about it, what would make me buy it again? Crossplay. That's it. Crossplay.
A good answer. That's a
Again,
good
because yeah, if you guys have it and you're willing to, as Ray said, I don't want to play the story again. There's no way I'm going to go. I'll go through the story until that unlocks the online part. I think that's how it worked. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? There's actually a way to um not play the story at all and get straight into the game. I did that on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, can you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at
But
Wait,
all.
repeat that. Say that again.
so in because usually you would have to play the game first,
The
the
story.
story mode,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
then um you can play online. But what I did, it was kind of silly, but I started the game and it booted into story mode. So you know the part with the bank robbery,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then something came up, so I had to quickly switch off my PlayStation. And then when I turned my PlayStation back on, it loaded up, but it then said I could press a button to go into online mode.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we're skipping the story itself.
Yeah.
So then I was able to get into story. So I think we'd have to do is get to the story mode, close application, open application again, and then you'll be able to jump into online.
Fair enough. But I mean,
I
if I
mean,
had to play 1 hour of it to get back into online or so, just so again the cross-platform nature of it, so you two on your PlayStations, me and him on our Xboxes, and we could still play the online together. That's the reason I would
mm,
buy it again because
Oh,
GTA
definitely.
5 is such a big game, as in not just the map, but 7 years after release, it's still £25. It's still on the
yeah.
top 10 list every single month. Um, People are still playing it. I think it's still. I think GTA 5 is the most lucrative entertainment product ever. So no movie has made as much as GTA 5. So all the Avengers films individually, 1 point something billion, 1 point this billion. GTA 5 made more than them.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so
It
that
still is still making money as
is
well.
still making money. 7 years, yo. No other
Oh,
company's ever done that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what would make me buy it again. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
I
So
think that's a good answer because
yeah,
it just brings a whole nother element, and that's why they should just have cross play across the whole board. They need to stop
It's-
wasting time.
and
yeah.
also, I think Rockstar is one of those companies that if Rockstar says crossplay, Sony don't have no choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rockstar is
I
that big
agree.
that when they start swinging that hammer and they're like, "Yo, Sony, we want crossplay. We're doing crossplay. You can be on board or you can be left in the dust."
I,
And
I can't.
Hundred
I don't know.
percent.
I don't know if any of you could explain why they were even against it in the first place. Because I don't understand why they want to let everyone play together anyway.
because they want
Did
to
it
make
the
money.
money? Did
Yeah.
it make them lose money? What?
Not necessarily lose, but they don't make as much. So they're not losing because okay,
Yeah,
based on what I've seen and read, it's a case where they're in the lead this time. So them being in the lead, they don't need crossplay. Last
yeah.
generation, when Microsoft was in the lead, Microsoft didn't want to do crossplay, right?
So,
As in on the
Mm,
360. So now that they're in the
so
lead, they're just being spiteful essentially because the developers literally said, "We will do it for free." It's a couple lines of code or a switch or whatever they said, and I think they even turned on crossplay by accident in a few games, and then they had to
yeah.
go back and turn it off. That's how easy it was for them to do. So
they just need to do it across the board with
yeah,
every single
I
thing.
agree.
Like if I could play FIFA on my PS4 with my friend that's got Xbox, like come on man, it's a no brainer.
It's a no-brainer, yo.
Mhm.
It's a
You know what I
no-brainer.
mean? Even
Hundred
squad
percent.
like the division I was talking about. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you guys have never played it. You guys got Xboxes. Me and LJ got PlayStations. I'll just buy it. You guys buy it, and then we can all play it. You know what I
That's
mean?
it. That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But I think,
And I
mm,
don't see how they're losing out on money because if you're buying the game on the system, you're still gonna need to pay their online to get online anyway. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what the problem is.
I think personally, I think it's a case where because they're the market leader, because more people will be on PlayStation Online than there is on Xbox.
Yeah,
They can just say
Yeah.
no, we're not doing it, and most people will just have to buy the PlayStation version because that's where most people are.
Exactly.
That's what I
Okay,
think.
so
That's what I think.
kind of just greed essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing that you're saying, man.
Mm.
It's just greed essentially. Then at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
To be honest, I don't think they're really thinking about the game as much as thinking about we need to line our pockets. And
Yeah.
that's it. But again, they are a company, and the whole point of a company is to make money. So can we really
Yeah, of
blame
course,
them?
I mean,
of course.
do you think they'll reckon they'll bring out a DLC? Like, you see how one thing that will make me buy the game, not necessarily buy the game itself, but I might buy an add-on. You see, like what they did for GTA 4, where they did the Lost and Found DLC, and I think they did another DLC as well for. They did two DLCs for that one though.
The Ballad of Gay
Remember that
Tony
one?
and the Lost and Damned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ballad of Gay Tony and Lost and Found. So something like that. Do you reckon they would be better off releasing something like that as an extra for GTA 5 as opposed to releasing the entire game over and over again? Would you buy that for like maybe £15 or £20 instead of buying the game for £20?
I I don't know actually. I think I would. I mean, I would love DLC, but I would like the full story along with the DLC as well, like the complete edition in that sense.
Mm. At this point, you probably know. I just want GTA 6 now, man.
Yeah,
Fair.
So at this point, I probably wouldn't buy any DLC
Fair.
now.
I
But
don't think they will do DLC. It's not worth it. They're making millions
But
off.
what they do with their online is well, it's not really DLC because it's free, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really, these different missions and heists and stuff.
yeah, it's completely free. Yeah, but
Yeah.
people are buying the cash to then go into those things, and so that they can buy loads of guns, loads of cars, loads of equipment, so that they can do those things. So I don't think they'll ever do DLC for GTA 5. Forget about it. I think because they're making enough money as it is with what it is with
Do,
minimal
do you
work.
do you think? Obviously, you're saying that it's still selling like crazy. Do you think that they're purposely holding off on GTA 6 then?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I
7
think
years.
it's still in development.
Yeah, it's still in development, but they could have been like, okay, here's a trailer, 2 years, like what they did with GTA 5. I think they released that trailer or GTA 4, where the guy was walking along the beach and then the car drove past, and but nothing. 7 years and nothing. That's long, yo.
Yeah, they're doing they're milking it. They're milking it.
They
as
they
much as
are.
they can.
They really are,
I mean, only Rockstar can do something like that.
and that's
I'm
the
honest.
thing. I think if Rockstar came out, and I don't know, sign an exclusivity deal with one of these companies, saying okay, the PS5 will get extra GTA 5 content, which is gonna be the DLC that JJ was asking for. That will sell PS5s. Or if they came out and said Xbox will get that will sell Xboxes. So I think if either of these companies were smart, they'll be like, Rockstar, give me a number. How many zeros do you want me to write? And I'll write the check.
Don't you remember that's what Microsoft were relying on with certain games when they had timed exclusives.
Oh yeah.
So they had like I think it was
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider was one.
They had like I don't know, was it like a year time? Was it a year?
I think it was a year. Yeah, it was a year. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
No.
that definitely sells the system.
Yeah, I believe so.
It would sell it, but as you can see, it's limited.
Yeah.
It's limited. I think a lot of people that's got a PlayStation will say, you know what, I'll just wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Rockstar is one of those companies that can sell whatever they want. They've never let us down in terms of GTA. Every GTA game has been a smash hit. Every single one. So they have that leverage, that power to say, okay, we'll do what we want, and you have to follow us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
enough,
most
fair
definitely.
All right.